This is a technique looking to assess and treat the elbow complex with all three joints, mainly radiohumeral and ulnohumeral part of the elbow. So what we're going to look for motion is combined motion. So instead of just looking at flexion extension, if that doesn't give us enough information or doesn't address the issue, the barrier, we might start adding in flexion with a little bit of forearm going relatively out, flexion with the forearm going in, which I'll call adduction. So flexion out, AB, flexion in, AD. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of relatively adduct and then flex. So it's kind of making this cloverleaf clockwise and counterclockwise to see if it's a nice smooth arc, similar to when we look at the hip flexion quadrant with internal rotation. We want to go both directions to make sure it's nice and smooth. So we'll look at flexion and arm out, or abduction, flexion and arm in. She's currently supinated. I'm going to repeat that with her forearm pronated. So now we're adding in the proximal radioulnar joint as well as the traditional elbow joints to that mix. And then also I'm going to come down into extension with a little bit of relative AB or valgus, and extension with a little bit of AD or varus, again in a supinated position and also in a pronated position. So sometimes by going through these motions, you'll pick up on kind of some speed bumps in the system or some glitches that you might not have found with just straight plain motion. So I'll show you what that looks like in real time. Just keep your arm relaxed. I'm going to flex in AB. She's supinated. I'm going to kind of keep her abducted. So my left hand is blocking her shoulder, so it's not shoulder rotation. So this is I call it abduction. It's kind of a valgus stress. And then I'm going to flex. A nice smooth quadrant there. I can flex and relatively AD. I can AD and relatively flex. So again, it's not shoulder internal rotation because I'm blocking that with my proximal hand. It's just a little bit of varus at the elbow to see what that quadrant looks like. So again, I went both clockwise and counterclockwise, and then I'm going to repeat, in this case with her forearm pronated, flexion, AD, AD flexion, AB, flexion, flexion, AB. Nice and smooth quadrants. Same thing for extension. Again, I don't want to hyperextend her elbow, but I'm going to extend and AD, pull it towards my thigh. I can back off. I can AD like a varus stress and drop her into extension. Feels nice and smooth. She's currently supinated, so I'm going to repeat that with pronated. So I'm going to AD and extend. I'm going to extend and AD. One more quadrant to go. I'm going to extend an AB like a valgus stress, back off, AB, valgus, and extend, and then repeat with her forearm pronated. So nice, smooth quadrants in there.